I say I actually took down my Christmas lights.
Oh, really? It took you that long?
Well, they look so pretty.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and with Calgary, you
They're
never
now
know.
Easter lights.
Easter lights.
Oh, I could have used them as Easter lights.
Yeah, you could have.
Nuts. Now I got to put them back up.
Yep.
Thanks, Kate. Joining us on panel this morning, 3 great ladies who are representing our province and our city very, very well in the Miss Universe Canada finalists. All 3 of them are finalists, including Cree Big Plume, who is on the end. We have Bailey Simonen, who is also here in the middle, and Monika Horvat, who's joining us as well too. Monika, this is crazy. This is the first competition, pageant, that you've ever been a part of.
Yes.
What the heck were you thinking?
Honestly,
Why not try something kind of small, you know, like Miss Strathcona or not Strathcona, Miss Strathmore or something. Why not something smaller? Why so big a scale?
well, I honestly just applied on a whim. I've had a few people tell me to apply for it, so I just did, and apparently I was a suitable candidate for it. But I think that my future career goals really intertwine with the pageant. I want to work for the World Bank or the UN, and I'm very keen on humanitarian efforts. So I think for me, the pageant has been a form of transcendence. I have been able to better myself in public speaking, in community awareness, in global awareness, and global issues as well too. So I think the biggest thing for me has been trying to improve the immigrant community here in Canada and Calgary. And I have been able to raise a lot of awareness on it. And a lot of my free time is spent volunteering at the Calgary Immigrant Education Society, because I know how difficult it was for my parents coming here with 2 small children, not knowing any English. And I really respect my parents, and I love everything that they've sacrificed for us. So it's just a way for me to kind of give back.
Yeah, it's a really interesting story that you have. So that's one of your goals, I guess, is to work with immigrant families, right? And bring light to that.
Yeah. Prior to me going to China, when I went there when I was 19, I didn't have my head on my shoulders at all. And I remember my dad telling me one day, you know, why be good when you can be great at something? Because I took some tests and I didn't do too well on it, and I really didn't care too much. And then I ended up volunteering in China for a year because I just wasn't there physically and mentally at the time when I was 19. So I went to China and I volunteered there teaching English for 8 months. I lived in Shandong in a city called Yantai for about 4 months, and then I lived in Fujian, which is a province across from Taiwan, in a city called Wuishan. And there I met a lot of Chinese people that were so lovely, so hospitable, and I really became introduced to the realm of human rights. And I began to see, you know, how much rights were privileged here in Canada, so why not take full advantage of it? So that year I ended up coming back to Canada, and prior to that I ended up getting really sick in China. I lost about 30 pounds and almost died. So I think at that point I realized that I do want to make the most out of my life, because in an instant your life can be taken away. So I went back to school, worked really hard in school. I've been on the Dean's List for 4 years. I got published 2 years ago. I'm going to be graduating with great distinction. And I just want to continue bettering myself and continue progressing in the world, every single aspect. I really believe in the Latin saying, repetitium studiorum mater est, repetition is the mother of everything. And the more I repeat and the more I practice at something, the better I'll be at it.
I don't know how they're going to decide.
I know. I'm glad I'm not one of the judges. Yeah. But something I love about all 3 of you is that you're breaking down stereotypes, and you're really trying to overcome whatever it is and just be better people. And it's not all about the beauty and the bathing suits and the nightwear and the elements that you'll be going through come competition time, but it's about what you're doing in the process of getting to Miss Universe Canada.
Monika, you mentioned your parents. I'm guessing that the 2 of you as well too. What are some of those mentors, those influences that got you to where you are today, Bailey?
Definitely Patty Faulkner, my agent. Yeah. Just working alongside her, you know, professionally and personally, I've just got to know her, and she's just a wonderful, sweet lady, and very inspiring to me every day, because she's created a great name for herself. She's been around since 1969 with the Patty Faulkner Agency. So I do look up to her, and I do want to be like Patty Faulkner and create a strong name for myself as well.
Cree?
Patty Faulkner as well. She's actually the reason why I got involved with modeling and acting, and she actually hosted a training for intermediate modeling for First Nation children and youth. and that's how me and a few others got involved with leadership, and as well as my late grandfather, Prosper Pasquiak, sorry. And with his passing, I grieved a lot, and like Monika, a lot of self-reflection, self-realization, and a lot of resilience. And in that aspect of my life, I grew into the woman I am today because he was such a strong person, provided for his entire family. And he was a farmer, he was a cowboy, he did whatever he had to provide for his family. And he didn't go to school. He was born in the residential school era, and his parents hid him away so he wouldn't have to go. So I learned a lot from him, and just being strong for myself, my people, my community, and carrying them with me in whatever I do, because he said in the world that we have today, we have to take care of everybody. And I am a firm believer in Canada being a cultural mosaic, and as well providing that to the world.
Well, and that's one of the things too that you represent too, Monika, is that you're from Serbia originally, at least your family is.
Yes.
There's a lot of strength in Serbians. You bringing that here today is evident, it's obvious, and you're carrying that forward as well too.
We pretty much were the keepers of the Ottoman Empire. We didn't let the Turks progress past Kalemegdan in Belgrade, which is the capital of Serbia. So us and our geographic setting has revolutionized history in that aspect as well too. And I completely agree with Cree, we're a very heterogeneous society. You cannot make a specific cultural mark on Canada. So I think that, I don't know, every culture adds to the diversity here, to the cuisine here, to the complete ideologies that we have here in Canada.
Your parents must be over the moon that you are representing them and their story.
My mom is the most inspirational woman that you can ever meet.
Say hi to Mom right now.
I love you, Mom.
Oh.
She's probably watching. I'm very proud of my parents, and I have an amazing relationship with my mom. My mom and I grew together when I was sick. She was with me every step of the way, completely encouraging. She is an amazing artist. She has a love for math the same way that I do. And I think that we just have grown together. I love my mom, and I love my family very much, and I love everybody that's been very supporting me. But I think that the biggest thing is that I don't really want that much recognition for everything that I'm doing, because for me, I want to do this because out of my soul I want to do this. I've been wanting to do this my whole life. I just haven't really had the self-confidence to do it. So for me, this is just a desire of mine. So I think that's probably what she's the most proud of. And I mean, my parents have both been very educational, inspiring. My dad speaks 8 languages. We used to watch History Channel when I was little. We speak Latin together when I see him. Yeah, I don't know, I love Latin and I love math, and I want to continue with that stuff next year when I graduate. I want to go to the U of C, hopefully work in my field somewhere in Calgary, and just take Latin classes and take math classes on the side.
Just keep learning.
Yeah.
Again, impressed.
I know.
Yeah, we sit here and we're humbled. I mean, I'm personally humbled by just the great, amazing ladies that you are seeing here today, all here from in Calgary, who are getting their message out. And in May is the big competition. Is there one thing that all three of you are a little nervous about? Cree, what are you nervous about?
We were just discussing this, and I believe it's the topic every time we meet for training once a month, and that is body image. And we want to promote, yes, we want to be our petite figure and have a six-pack and things like that, but we also want to be healthy. We want to promote healthy eating habits and being normal and having that normal body image, you know, and not setting such high expectations for the younger generation and the women that are watching us, because in my community, they're all watching me every step of the way.
And they're listening to Cree. They're not only watching, but they're listening to every word.
Hello. Yes, they are listening.
Bailey, yourself, is there one thing that makes you a little nervous, a little, oh my, here we go?
I would definitely probably say what Cree was saying, you know, just doing the bathing suit competitions and, you know, maybe a little self-conscious. I feel okay, but there is that nervousness that comes along with it. Yeah. But maybe also just the interviews that we have to do with the judges and just staying up to date on the world events and such, I think. But I think you just have to educate yourself and be prepared. But the thing is, you just never know what you're going to be asked. No. So they want to put you on the spot and see how you do under pressure. So I think that's probably the most nerve-wracking aspect for me. I think just being yourself is the most important thing.
The fitness part terrifies me, to be perfectly honest. I am a very active person, but when it comes to lunges and squats, I just try to get away from that as much as possible. And I think also being a student, you know, you just want stuff on the go and you're not that focused on clean eating. But with my trainer, I made him push me, and I've also made him allow me to eat animal cookies. Like animal crackers, that's the one thing I won't give up.
I know, it's
So I've
difficult.
told him, I said, Paul, yes, we can do clean eating, but I'm having animal crackers.
You have to treat yourself or else you go crazy.
Yeah.
Really well. And working at Boston Pizza is difficult.
Wow.
Surrounded by temptation.
Cactus bites, yep. Cactus cuts. Yeah, they're
Oh, look at
delicious.
this. They're chatting food.
Panera bread.
Bandeira bread,
And
yeah.
the thing is, you three knew each other before you came on set today, yes?
Oh,
Yes, we do.
Wait till you get to meet the other contestants too. This is going to be a fun time.
I'm very exciting.
And it's good. It's
yeah.
good for our Calgary area too, to be able to speak publicly on many issues and bringing them to light and not being afraid to speak on them.
Great job, you three.